All right, guys, welcome back. Today we have a product test and we have a special guest tester.
Yes,
one of our test team. Welcome back, Ronnie.
Thrilled to be back. Thanks for the re-invite.
Yeah, back by popular demand after the last one. I think a lot of people really related to Ron's game, his swing, the certain things he has to kind of navigate around his ball flight and stuff. And I think that's why we thought he'd be a great candidate for today's test.
And you had an experience while you guys were down in Florida playing golf.
Yeah.
Tell me briefly the conversation you two had regarding something like this device right here.
It's okay. It's all right to be blunt and honest. Go for it.
Well, we played down in Florida together, and you played, in my opinion, very well. I think you're 4. You know, your handicap right now is about
11. I shot 83 with
right.
you.
So you're right on sort of handicap.
Yes.
You were very solid on the front nine. You ground out a bunch of great pars, and you made a great birdie somewhere. And I want to say you were 3 or 4 over in the front nine. I went, holy moly, Ronnie's really bringing it today. Playing with the boys, we were playing a little skins game, and you were taking the money out of our pocket. So you are proportionately a higher handicap driver than some of the other parts of your game.
Clearly. I think you're being kind. Clearly.
So that's the struggle for you.
Yes.
And it's also the struggle, but it is also the biggest opportunity.
Yes.
So if we can get that part of your game really dialed in, there's no reason why we can't sort of make inroads into getting you into that single-digit golfer that we've talked about. All right. So I saw the struggles. I saw there was some misses to the right. There was some slightly thin drives that came out a bit low. We were in the 16th hole, which was a par 5, and Ronnie's kind of hit a driver out there, and I think it kind of it flared a little bit. And you said, give me 1 second, let me grab another ball, and you went and changed club. You went and got a 7-wood.
A 7-wood.
You got a Ping G25?
G25, and I love that club.
Yep,
It's a 7-wood.
with the Acra shaft in it, so tons of loft, shorter shaft. And Ronnie said, watch this. And no word of a lie, I mean, right on cue, he's hit this perfect, nice little draw. And it wasn't high by any means, it was just a kind of nice flighted little draw. And he said, see, and I can see the frustration, like, why can't I do that, all the time? And, if the game was like that off the tee for you, you just can't give up the yardage that a 7-wood gives you versus driver. You do aspire to hit driver well.
So that 7-wood flew 205 and rolled 3 yards.
Yeah.
My driver that I preceded that was maybe like 180 carry and 40 yards a roll, 30 yards a roll.
Yeah,
so
Nothing struck well or something like that.
Yeah,
and I asked the question, should I be hitting a 3-wood? Should I toss this out?
Yeah.
And so.
And that's when you were joking about like a mini driver being a good test subject would be Ron, because he's kind of person that was like, well, I don't like my driver, I like a fairway wood. This is kind of obviously somewhere in between. So maybe Ron will like a mini driver.
So there we are. So as soon as we got this one in, I thought, well, this is good for Ronnie. 43.5 inches in length. It's got more loft. It comes in 11.5 and 13.5. There's lots of reasons why this could be a great little addition to your bag. As a replacement for the current driver that you do have a bit of a battle with. So today will be the test to see if that's the case.
So we'll get Ron hitting some with his driver, kind of assess the pattern, see how he's hitting it, and then we'll just dive right in and see what kind of consistency he gets with this instead of the driver.
Yeah, was that a fair description really?
Yeah, and then numerically, club hit speed indoor has been 85 this off season, which is lower than normal. Spin maybe 2,000 on a good day. Carry 185, total 205. So those are my numbers. It's been a little bit of a soft off season with the drivers. So
so
I'm excited with this opportunity. So
you've been working on some stuff in your game, some different stuff with your instructors. So let's see how they're paying off. Okay. Quite a nice strike, that one, Ronnie.
Well, that's sounding good.
Attaboy. So, Matt, you can see that kind of diving flight.
So it's a lack of spin can be an issue in terms of keeping the ball in line. Is that where you look for? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So we can see, if the launch angle is not there to sort of help create the height. The spin rate certainly isn't going to be the thing that helps. Couple of things for Ronnie. You know, you can see clearly here it is a bit of a struggle at times to square the blade. You know, it's hanging open, isn't it? You can see that, and that's causing us some directional issues here.
Based on those numbers, you think probably a strike issue would be to blame if he does miss one left? Like it would probably be a toe strike or something? Because the numbers don't point to anything that would go left.
They are basically, and you know, from what we're seeing here, it's a reaction swing.
Gotcha.
So it's right, left.
Got it.
You know, one of those.
To close the face manually.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see a few more. Sound a bit better.
Yeah, so today, Ronnie, distance-wise, you're in a pretty good spot.
Yes, those are higher than normal, what I've done off-season, yep.
Are you you get a little adrenaline because the camera's running here, or 88
Apparently.
miles an hour average club head speed?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's good.
It's always the case.
Yeah.
It's always the case. You always swing a little faster.
A little more for the camera.
Yeah.
All right, good. So let's have a quick peek at what we can do on here. Quick peek at the average: 202, 227, 88 speed, 126 ball. Face is on average 3.1 open. Let's see, to the path, that's our bigger issue here with relation to the path, is 4.3. So we would love to get that number down. That's our opportunity. Launch and spin are fine, but only fine because the face is open.
Yep, gotcha.
So if we get that squared up, we are going to be in a lower spin, lower launch scenario.
The ball won't stay in the air.
Will not stay in there.
Okay.
So let's see.
Okay.
So that's, I mean, I was just going to say, that's pretty representative of some drives that Ron will hit, and that's a good
I'd say so. They're a little bit longer today, but I'd say
Right.
fairly representative, yeah.
So do you want to talk about exactly how this is set up before we give it to Ron, or do you want to
Sure.
let him swing away with it?
Well, I mean, we can talk a little bit about the Mini and you know, as it is. So head size, obviously smaller, but it definitely it frames the ball really
It's
well.
got plenty of size to, I guess, inspire confidence.
I know.
I don't think you're
I'm
going
not
to
sure
feel
why
like
that is, because you know,
Yeah.
if you put a driver down like that, you would kind
yeah,
of go,
it's way
geez.
small.
But it kind of feels like you're more of a big 3-wood rather than
Agreed.
a small driver.
It doesn't look like a small driver. I agree.
Yeah.
It looks like a big 3-wood.
Cosmetically, I love it.
It looks great.
I love that they've went, you know, with the black. I think that looks really sharp.
Agreed.
You know, quite nice that they've kept. I think the original sort of throwback to the Pittsburgh Persimmon
retro look.
Yep, kept that in there. So, but it has all the modern day innovation that
Twist
Taylormade,
face and everything like that,
and
speed
hammerhead
pocket,
and
yep.
all that sort of stuff. So,
Okay.
let's get it in Ronnie's hands
Sure.
and see what it's got going on.
Okay. Certainly straighter to begin. Yeah. How was that strike feel there, Ron?
It felt low, but I love the shorter shaft.
So are you kind of feeling a little more confident right away because you've got, what is it, 1.5 inches less?
I do.
Is that what it is? Yeah.
So I definitely feel comfortable. I'm wondering whether that will translate into ball speed, but
That's what I'm thinking, for
the
sure.
length of the shaft inspires confidence and feels like it made me go at it a little
Right.
bit more assertively, which is something I normally don't do.
For sure. Okay, so I think you geared that one nicely, high in the head, and obviously got the high launch, low spin benefits from that. That's okay.
Okay, keep going.
Low spinner.
It's really straightened it out.
Really has, isn't
It
it?
really, really straightens it out.
Okay, so what are sort of impressions do you get on the first take of this?
I'm able, I think I've tightened up the dispersion significantly.
Definitely have.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I'm getting the peak, the height that I
No.
thought I would.
It's fair to say. It's
So-
brought the ball flight way left, though.
So there's kind of what we're seeing there.
It's close, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very close. This is great, obviously. We would like to see something that has a slightly higher launch, higher spin sort of ball flight, so that you're not losing significant yardage. It's a funny one though, Matty, because that whole kind of 14.5 launch 1900 that's going 202 is artificial because the face is open.
True.
This is a much more true reflection.
Yeah, that's right. So you think if the driver was square,
it
they'd
would
probably be
Oh,
closer?
no question. That face would be delivering less dynamic loft, so that launch angle would be lower, the spin rate would be lower. So, yep, that's certainly the case.
So let's talk to some of the settings. So we have the 11.5 head. That's the only one we have so far. You did close it a little bit and loft it up.
It's plain 12.5. They make two lofts, Ronnie, and I would love, I wish we had the 13.5 here because it looks like we're seeing some great things with the dispersion. We just need the flight from it. We need the loft.
Need a bit more loft.
Yeah, so that one right now has been bumped up to 12.5.
Yeah.
So the face is 2 degrees closed, an extra degree of loft.
Right.
So and it's done a nice job since we moved that. Really, it's got you down pretty much down the middle.
Yeah.
Why don't we hit a different golf ball and see
Sure,
what that does?
What do you have in mind?
Let's see here. Oh,
It goes straight apparently and draws.
that was nice.
Oh, best of the day.
That was nice. It kind of hung at its apex a little bit longer.
There you go. A little bit over 2,000.
Yep,
That's
we'll
nice.
take that. Look at your speeds up.
Even with a little bit less club head speed on that one.
So Ian, what's interesting, this is 110 compression. I'm a very slow swinger. I've been trying to debate this myth that slow swingers hit low compression balls.
It might just be what you just called it.
Yep. Have a look at that number there, Ronnie. You got 1 mile an hour faster.
So, it might be a myth. One of the things that we established when we talked to Chris Vauchal was the ball exits obviously quicker off the face, which will create higher launch, and it will actually create higher spin from a firmer compression golf ball.
And that's certainly
that's
from
exactly
one shot.
what
It's
we're
what it
seeing.
did.
So obviously, launch angle is relative to a square face.
Yep. Again.
Which is fine, but
Very square.
all of the above is very, very good. I love that that's kind of came back and went, okay, Ron, you said that today was a good day for driving. You're used to carrying at 185. Today was 202, out to the right. So realistically, if we had never hit your driver and you were carrying this 202 going out to just shy of 230, you'd be probably over the moon.
I'd be pleased.
You'd be pretty pleased.
Yes.
And rightly so.
And the left center of the fairway too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do a few more. Down the right wing,
You
but
may not have hit that as well, but that's a way more manageable miss than
Ronnie.
He's hammered it out there an extra 10 yards. Ooh.
I certainly won't be giving you as many shots next time we play. Yeah, so the launch being up obviously from that. So 30 yards offline, straying towards the right edge of the fairway. With your ball flight, it'd be safe to say that would you play it down the left side and let it bleed back, or are you still playing it down the middle?
I'm still playing right for the long way down the middle.
Because you're really not sure what way it's going
I've
to go.
got two kind of misses, so yeah.
No, that's fair. But I think getting it out there to just shy of 240, I mean 212 on the carry. I don't know if you and I have had many drives that we've hit it more than that in the air.
Well, to have your longest drive of the day with a 43.5 inch, strong 3-wood basically, it's interesting.
I want to talk to that in a minute actually, because the club head speed thing is interesting.
It is, yeah. Let's see a couple more though. Definitely squared that up nicely, didn't you?
That's probably going to be the one that
That's nice, Ronnie.
we pray for the 13.5 head because
yeah, that would bring up all the spin.
Yeah, get some air under it. Yeah. So let's look at a couple of things that sort of changed as we went along here on the table, club delivery wise. Club face went from on average being 3.1 degrees open with the driver to 0.5 open with the Mini. So easier to square that up. Your path was better. You went from 1.2 out to in with the driver to 0.7. So that was a nice improvement. Nothing much of a change with angle of attack.
Yep.
Dynamic loft was actually pretty similar, and club head speed was interesting. Club head speed was fractionally down, but it's read it with a much higher efficiency ratio. So if it was reading it the same way, it would actually probably be.
I was going to say, they're probably the same, aren't they? Because the ball speed was almost the same, so you'd expect he was, in fact, swinging them very similarly.
Yeah, ball speed was both 126.
Yeah.
Launch and spin was fine, quite comparable. And obviously distance-wise was 4 yards more.
So it's achieved.
With the Mini.
It's achieved. I think a lot of it's kind of intangible stuff because obviously, getting rid of the left side, yes, a bit of face angle, but I think his comfort with it, struck it a little more consistently, squared it up better because he liked the shorter shaft and the way the club's set up. Yeah. That is, obviously more valuable than worrying about, okay, obviously this loft is a bit low for Ron, but that's a quick, easy change. Go up to the 13.5 head and you'd probably see, you think maybe even an extra 5 yards on that or something, distance-wise, because the spin is in fact so low.
Yeah, you would certainly be flirting with we just look at that one that we did get the, we did get the numbers up a little bit. Yeah, so if we look at those numbers, 15.7 launch with the obviously lower spin, it's those ones are really good to chase out, to 210 carry, that sort of thing. So I think if we are able to play with that driver a little bit, Ronnie, I think we can get certainly more out of it. This is a good initial test.
Right,
definitely.
What the Mini done for you in this instance was it helped your face angle issue. Yeah. What the final the final test we do with you, which is more of the fit rather than the test. This is more of a review.
Right.
It will really dial it in for you, and I think we'll see launch, spin, face angle, all those things coupled together.
Yeah,
and on the 13.5.
On the 13.5 head.
And fit a shaft that maybe helps the strike location. You want to move the strike location a bit more centered versus where it was a bit high and get his spin up a bit. But no, it's a good initial test. I think anyone that wants a Mini driver, it's because they're struggling with their driver. They've had enough, they've had enough of struggling with it. They want to play better golf. And that's, it seems to be a good option for someone to get a little more straight ball flight.
It looks like we have a contender for my bag.
A contender.
Once we
That's a good way to put it.
The 13.5.
I know. Excellent. Okay.
All right. That's coming. As soon as we get that head, we will we'll have Ronnie back in. We'll do the full deal with it.
Yeah, we've got a lot of videos planned actually for the Mini Mini series, the Mini driver series, and we think that we can sort of give lots of value and context as to who this particular product is for. That's ultimately what we're trying to establish here. Some of the things that you can gain by going to a product like this. And there's more in-depth stuff. We're going to have you hit it. We actually have one coming today. So lots more to come on the Mini.
Should be fun, yeah.
Okay, guys, I appreciate you joining us today, and we'll see you again soon.